What up, though? It's your boy, OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny, retired from the streets TV. I hope all y'all had a healthy, happy 420. For me, it was a no-go because, I'm at that space right now where I just had me a little, some wine with a friend, what I mean, a couple of homies and whatnot. But I had to kind of chill out on the puffing and all that good stuff. But I want to talk today about a case that's been like hitting headlines lately. Now, this is outside of Michigan jurisdiction. This is South Carolina, but we got a dude by the name of Richard. What's his name? Richard Bernard Moore. Richard Bernard Moore is planned. Well, he had a scheduled execution for him later on this month. South Carolina it's only one of 4 states that still has the capital death penalty. You know what I'm saying? So what they're doing is they ran out of the medication, or I think it's the potassium chloride or whatever it is that they use for lethal injection. So they force you basically into a decision whether you want to be electrocuted to death or you can opt to choose the firing squad, right? I think the firing squad just got elected as an option for execution recently. Now in Michigan, we don't have the death penalty, right? And we haven't had it since, I think the last person that had been executed in Michigan was 1938 because of the constitutionality of the death penalty in Michigan. Now with South Carolina, it's a little different, of course. Now what his lawyers are saying, I'm going to read some of this to y'all so I don't have to, go off the top of my head. Okay, for right now, they're halting because he wanted the firing squad, which is crazy to me. And how they do it is, of course, you get masked men, all of them line up. They're usually trained shooters, and they in sync, pop, 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 and they shoot you to death, right? And they do it like that because all at the same time, because they don't want to have a misunderstanding of who shot the kill shot, right? And they want it to be non-interrupted, so we all go at the same time to kill this man. That way, nobody knows who did it or whatnot, and there's no specific blame, right? So for now, they're halting the planned execution of Richard Moore for later on this month. And what they're saying is the order by the state Supreme Court puts on hold, at least temporarily, the planned April 29th execution of Richard Bernard Moore, who drew the death sentence for the 1999 killing of convenience store clerk James Mahoney in Spartanburg, right? The last execution by firing squad in the U.S. was 2010, so that's 12 years ago, which is crazy. I didn't even think firing squad sounds so damn archaic to me, right? You think of a firing squad, you think of an old ass movie, something when they still had the gallows when they was hanging people. That's how old that shit sound, right? Sound crazy to me. What's even crazier is somebody opting to have themselves killed by firing squad, and I guess his mentality might have been, hey, get it over with. Y'all gonna kill me, get it over with, right? As opposed to y'all coursing this painful. And they say that damn medicine, that I think it's the potassium chloride they shoot in your veins, and not only is really painful, excruciatingly painful at the injection site, but as it courses through your veins, it's very painful too. So it's almost inhumane, even though this person committed a crime and killed somebody. Now this dude, 57 years old. That crime happened in 1999, so he wasn't a baby by far. He was an adult. He knew what he was doing, and I'm pretty sure he has accountability for it, right? But the constitutionality of the death sentence is what they're challenging here, right? So let me finish. The court said in issuing the temporary stay that it would release a more detailed order later. Attorneys for the 57-year-old inmate has sought a stay, citing pending litigation in another court challenging the constitutionality of South Carolina's execution methods, which also include the electric chair. Moore's lawyer also wanted time to ask the U.S. Supreme Court, to review whether Moore's sentence was proportionate to his crime. It has been more than a decade since we already covered that. That was the state of Utah carried out all 3 such executions in the nation since 1976. So that means that all of the firing squad executions were happening in Utah. What's going on in Utah? Damn. And the most recent one was in 2010, like I just said, and that was Ronnie Lee Gardner, and he faced a 5-person squad. Damn. That's deep. So to go on a little further, South Carolina's last execution was in 2011. State officials have attributed a decade-long hiatus in executions to an inability to secure lethal injection drugs, which this is weird. After the state's last batch expired in 2013, efforts to contract manufacturers and compounding pharmacies have proved unfruitful. Corrections Department officials have repeatedly said. Now, this is NPR.org. If y'all want to check this out on your own, you go to NPR.org and you type in South Carolina's planned execution by firing squad. It's on hold for now. And that was actually published yesterday on 4/20 at 2:38 p.m. Now, that's a far cry from what we go through up here in Michigan. Now, Michigan known to tax your ass with time. Like, you get basketball numbers for crimes up here. And this type of crime he killed a store clerk. And unless it was heinous and brutal, and the method with which he done it, usually a crime like that, they give you a lot of time. You get 20 to 40, 50 to 100, or you get life. I'm not used to, when I was in Virginia, that's the only time I got used to people being executed on a consistent basis, because they would lock the whole prison down, right? When it was time early, actually, because if you got to go lock in at 9 o'clock, when execution time come, when they about to execute somebody, and this is like 4 prisons in one down there, they will lock your facility down early around 7 o'clock, right? And I guess they figure, hey, we're killing somebody. We don't want to upset these dudes while they out in the open. Let's lock them down early. Let's go ahead and knock this dude off. And then they got time to sleep it off and worry about their own shit that they got to go through and do their own time. But it's a deep situation when you're dealing with somebody's life and you're playing executioner. I understand the judge part. I'm against the death penalty. You know, even in the most heinous crimes, because I'm a firm believer in one sin is not greater than another sin, right? And that's just when it comes down to laying down the execution part of it. But if you got to go do a hell of a lot of time, then go ahead and lay your ass down, bro. Now, you kill somebody, you most definitely need to be reprimanded, right? Especially on a robbery tip, because, you know, I done been in them situations, and like I said in the previous video about how I fought the urge to kill, when you go into a situation where you're going in for the goods, the object is to get in and get out without anybody getting harmed, without any victims. Everybody don't feel that way. Some people get a little annoyed, they paranoid, they sloppy, they're unprofessional, right? It's probably their first time doing it, or they on drugs, and it's got their mind tweaking while they up in there in the pistol, and they get trigger happy. You feel me? My thing is, give a guy time to have some redemptive quality, if you will. In 1999, you got to figure what I was 23, so that was 20-something years ago, easy, right? 20-something years ago. In that time, you can't tell me that a person cannot find redemption and correct the way that they used to think. So that's why I'm really against long and indefinite sentences, really, right? Indeterminate sentences, when they just say, okay, you got life, unless it calls for that. But my thing is, if there is an ounce of redemptive quality in the person, let's work on that. Let's focus on, instead of, because they call it the Department of Corrections, right? But it's usually just about punishment. Let's focus on the corrective measures that we can use for a person to get themselves together, right? On a mental level, on a spiritual level, hopefully, right? But when they separate church and state, you can't really focus on the spirituality part, but you can give them cognitive behavioral therapy. You can teach them how to assess their triggers when it comes to anger management, when it comes to conflict resolution, when it comes to de-escalation. So I don't believe in just throwing somebody in a hole and forgetting about them. Maybe you think I'm a little biased because I've been there quite a few times myself, incarcerated, but I'm a firm believer that people still, unless you just rotten to the core and you got something real mental going on with you, where you know, because some people are like that. They'll wait 20 years after they done committed a crime, get out and do some bull. Such is the case I just covered when I was talking about my brother McKeel and the killing of Francis Craig and the brother Butler. You know what I'm saying? You know, you go 25 years, you come home on parole and you stab somebody 90 times. So in those situations, that's the type of person going to lock his ass up, put him away forever. In other situations, I've been around individuals who've done that long, been in that 20. I know 3 dudes at one time on the same location. All of them had served 30 years apiece or more. So when we walk in the track, it was my brother QX, brother Doug, who was a Milano supporter, and my dude Walt, all OGs. And I want to say I was at Parnell with one, but the other ones I was at Camp Branch with, right? Camp Branch used to be a women's prison. All these individuals, come on, that was 100 and some years walking the yard with me. You know what I mean? Almost 100 years. Well, considering how much time I had did, and if we added another brother in the equation, if 5 was walking, 3 of them had done like almost 100 years collectively. Now, these dudes was in good shape. They still had their faculties, you know. One of them had started veering towards them boys a little bit, but the other 2 were solid soldiers. I'm talking about soldiers. You know what I mean? QX actually punched the young dude out for calling him a nigga. He's like, you old niggas. He said, watch your mouth, bro. He said, nigga. Pop, 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 pop. Pieced him up. The young dude told on him. We about to get him a face bath, if y'all know what that means. A face bath is when you take and you heat that water real hot in the microwave, real hot, and you drop that oil in there, either that Vaseline or in certain cases you got baby oil, cooking oil, whatever you can get your hands on that's oily, and you mix it with soap and you hit them in the face with it. And as soon as they do this, grab their face, the skin is going to peel and melt off. Because, you know, you snitching on the OG and the legend and an official brother, and he was a dignitary at the time, though. So, you know, but the point is, QX was 60-something years, about 60 years old, was in great shape, running the track all the time, shadow boxing, and the dude called him out his name, and he pieced him the hell up, right? Rightfully so, and gave him a little time to say, hold on, bro, watch your mouth, please. Young brother, don't call me out my name, bro. And he gave him a pass, you know what I'm saying, on several times. So you can't tell me an individual who will give somebody a pass until you keep on egging him on doesn't have redemptive qualities. And this is the OG who had me humble, like, bro, calm down. You're doing a lot. You bouncing from unit to unit. They keep kicking you out of units. You keep robbing these people from their food. That's another story, because I used to tear their ass up, but I'm talking about boxes of food. So that's a whole other story. I had to detail that for y'all. It's kind of funny, but it ain't, because they kept popping my ass. They kept catching me, you know, after a while. And I think it was because they got mad. But I showed so much love, you know. I just believe in the redemptive quality of people. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a real heinous person for me not to see some good in you. And the death penalty most definitely is something I'm against, because I don't believe anybody should have the right to correct somebody or fix the issue of a murder with another murder, or killing with another killing, however you want to define it. So you telling me that the right way to handle somebody who committed a crime after all these years, now it'd be different than how you caught him and you executed him after a year. You had him in there for a year or two, but you got these dudes in there 20, 30 years sometimes on death row waiting for their day to die. And a lot of them brothers in there get their mind right. Look how they did Tookie Williams. Come on now. They played Tookie. Tookie, I believe, when it came home and had more good to do for the Crips, right? And for the street organizations, or the gangs, if you want to call them that. I think he would have been more along the lines of what Big U doing out there in Cali with them boys, you know. And it's a bunch of controversy around the brother name, but that ain't my business. All I know is what I see in the work that they speak highly from the brother doing. So I believe that Tookie would have been along those lines, somebody who out there on the forefront and trying to keep them brothers away from the bullshit. Because the original gangs and the original gangsters usually was about community peace and pulling the community up. They weren't about tearing them down. They was going to get their money, right, with the ones who was already zombies, which ain't right neither. But I'm just saying, you know, that redemptive quality of people at its very core is something I fundamentally think we need to tap into as a society. You understand me? And as a people, and do some real need-based assessments, right? You assess people based on their needs, not just blanket statement and say, hey, you kill somebody's life, you kill somebody, death penalty. Y'all let me know how y'all think about this. Get in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe, like. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. And y'all know what happened at 1,000 subscribers, right? So tell your cousins, tell your homeboys, tell your co-workers, tell your friends down the road, hey, check out OG Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV. Subscribe to the brother. Check out a video or two. If you don't like it, get in the comment section and tell me you don't like it. I got people always hopping in my comment section saying a little weird stuff. And I don't be mean, because y'all got to right to your opinion, but I will correct you. Because I don't speak nothing but facts. You understand what I'm saying? I have to go fact-based when I'm getting on this camera and I'm talking to y'all. Some of this is my opinion, but most of it is my opinion from an honest and fact-based place. You know? So, until next time, OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny, Retired from the Streets TV. Thank y'all for tuning in again. Thank y'all for checking me out. As we approach tomorrow, I'm going to have another story for y'all. And in the meantime, y'all have a safe Thursday. I love y'all, and y'all stay tuned. Peace.